Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to be going and talking about somewhat of a bad issue now that we're actually seeing popping up quite a bit more now that we've actually been seeing quite a few reports of the Best Buy walk-ins, as well as just overall just a lot of issues with just the scalpers and botters that just never seem to end. We kind of thought we'd be somewhat out of these tracks, especially after the last holiday, and a lot of the reselling value did go down a lot, but as of this time, it does kind of seem like we're seeing now even more instances of scalpers and botters being a little bit more on the annoying side. So we have a lot of things to go and talk about in all regards to the Best Buy. We have a few reports too as well of people abusing the system, which is, I feel like, always keeps on happening. I just wish these big retailers would actually do something about it. And as well, just not the best news to go and talk about. So we have a lot of things to go talk about, so make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. As well, for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, check on the Twitter link down below to enter into the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Super easy to click on the links, easy peasy. Same with that Twitter follow, and of course Twitch follow if you guys want to. Amazon links and Webull and Coinbase down below. And leave a like and your thoughts down below if you guys want to. So, as I'm sure you guys probably know, these past few, especially like 6-7 months, it's just been botters and scalpers galore. So I kind of want to give you guys kind of just our feedback of some things that have actually been happening as of right now with Best Buy and just overall market of the scalper side. So with this, as you guys probably have heard, we've kind of talked about this in the early videos and just talked about Best Buy in general. Best Buy has actually had a pretty somewhat high standard of Xbox Series X consoles still showing up. We've also been waiting to go and see for PlayStation news. We've been seeing a few sporadic PlayStations also getting got, and as well as some also just bonus stock has also been shown on up for Best Buy stores. So think in the back house or the warehouses, etc. So we've actually now had around like a few different reports of people saying that they've been doing this, where folks have actually just been going and doing cycles, for lack of better words, where they'll basically go into Best Buy stores, buy a console, go and get their consoles, so think the Xbox Series X, and then after that, around an hour later, then they basically have a chance to go and show up again and re-buy it, because as of this current moment, apparently Best Buy stores are not actually having any, basically issues with people doing this. And we actually even had a Best Buy employee reach out to me and say this, because they were literally complaining about these scalpers. So what he said, at least for his own store policy, it may be different for other various stores, is kind of what I just said, where they'll be having the same person that goes and shows up at store openings, and basically if they have any leftover stock, which apparently throughout these instances, they've had 2 different drops as of their store. So this was actually throughout this past weekend, as well as also last week, apparently, which we didn't even know about. But we at least knew about the PlayStation stuff, so we at least let people know about it. But when it came to that stuff, they keep on apparently coming in the store, asking for stock, checking people in the actual customer service area to go get and check the stock in the back room, and then actually go get their consoles. They have a chance to go check it on out, and then they leave and they come back a little bit later. Now, apparently for this store, and I'm not sure the entire Best Buy policy, if you guys happen to know, you guys can kind of let me know for anti-scalping, but I'm just assuming just because it's in store and it's not online, it's slightly different. But apparently then these people just keep on coming back either later on throughout that day or just coming with a separate person and just trying their best to go buy out as much stock as they possibly can. Because apparently as well, sometimes Xbox Series X's, and this is kind of unbeknownst to me, have also still been selling very, very quickly, both on Facebook Marketplace, at least somewhat of a nice, $50 to $100 profit, which to me, I feel like I wouldn't really want to go through this entire effort to go do with this and deal with this, but it seems like people are still okay with it. And it would also make a little bit of sense, because it does seem like consoles are reselling faster, mainly because these third-party embodying prices are still big issues, PlayStation 5s especially, with a lot of botters still kind of dealing and trying to buy out drops, but as well for the Xboxes, it's kind of been on a somewhat slow crawl back on up. So it kind of just seems like we're seeing now Best Buy employees even now, at least from everything that I've been told, getting annoyed by these third-party sellers. And for some odd reason, these stores, maybe they just want to make sure they move stock or they just don't care. At least for that specific Best Buy store, they have no policy on people rebuying separate items as long as they leave the store. So as long as it's on a separate purchase, the only big issue apparently is if they're on the same purchase. So say someone tries to go buy 10 consoles or 10 drones or 10 TVs or whatever, that's a no-go. But if they bought one and then 3 hours later they bought another one, apparently for their systems, there's nothing they can really do because they don't check IDs, they don't require emails and stuff like that. So now we're literally even seeing Best Buy employees now reaching out to me and seeing and observing this annoyance, because they even said that they had the same person check out twice in the same day when their store had stock. And this is the big issue we keep on running into. Because as you guys know, I want these stores to be doing walk-in drops. I want them having stock. I want them being done with these weird online drops. I mean, I wouldn't mind them still doing it at the same time, but mainly in-store. Ideally should tone down a lot of scalpers and people reselling consoles. Same with the third-party prices going down too, which it has done at least on and off these past few months. But it stings because I really feel like I mean, I don't want to force people to have to do this, but I feel like you almost have to have like an ID or at least an email checkout to go and buy a console. I'm sure people can still go and circumvent that pretty easily, but just the fact that people are noticing this so obviously is somewhat on the annoying side. And I'm sure this probably will happen too in the near future whenever we do see a lot more PlayStation 5s available in stores, because we do keep on seeing PlayStation 5s slowly inching their way on in, especially for Best Buy stores. And we also keep on seeing all the usual walk-ins, which if you guys want to check the usual walk-in list, check on the weekends or our video right before this one. You should probably have a good chance to go and see which stock is still available. But it kind of is like on the middle annoying side, because even with Best Buy employees getting upset, there's really not that much they can do about it. And we've also even seen big instances too as well recently. This is for the third party reselling prices, say for the Xbox, although it's not been like on the crazy like straight up, like as you guys can see right here, like a $50 difference. We do kind of see like a very, very slow crawl as we kind of keep on getting back into like this restock drought. Because these past few weeks especially have been a little bit more on the rougher side, and this is kind of what I'm expecting, where it's just a very, very slow crawl, and ideally we'll have some more bigger drops these next few weeks. Fingers crossed, and if not, then well, it's going to keep on going gradually, going up and up and up. But this would make sense because of why people even want to go to these Best Buy drops, because I think a lot of people kind of think the Xbox Series X's are like super easy to go and get, and I will go and testament compared to the PlayStation 5. Yes, it is way, way easier. Although it's not at the same level, say, the Xbox Series S or Switch OLED as of yet. I'd say give another maybe 3 months and it will hopefully be at that point or pretty much there. But people are still making profits on reselling on Facebook Marketplace, asking for cash, third-party sellers, all that stuff. We have still been seeing this, which is very, very annoying. So it's kind of a big reason why we're still seeing people, especially even for walk-ins, because if they could physically have it without having to go wait for shipping or have to pay for shipping or have to pay like a GameStop bundle or wake up super early for a Target drop, etc., this is probably why. And I mean, rightfully so. If I was a Best Buy employee, I'd be upset too, because it's just an annoying thing to have to deal with. You don't want to deal with the same person that you obviously know as a scalper buying and selling all your stock, and then you have some lady 3 hours later being like, well, is there any Xboxes? I saw a YouTube video talking about it. And at that point, because some person bought 7 of them, there's nothing there. And it'd probably be even worse on the PlayStation 5s, because as you guys know, the PlayStation 5 reselling value is still actually going up a decent amount, to the point where I almost would want to make another separate video on it too at some point in the near future if it keeps on going up. This drought's been really rough. Like, it's at $720, and it was at the low of only $630 just a few weeks ago. So you guys can almost kind of see how that chart looks, where like around the holidays, around $800, but off of this, it looks like it's back at $720 mixed on in, with the highest bid even being over $700, which is just not good. Like, I don't like seeing the fact of all these botting prices are going back on up. Although maybe with the worries of, like, you know, the Russia and all this other stuff, it would kind of make sense, because there's just kind of scary stuff floating around. So just keep that in mind. I mean, we're also still even seeing botters too, where people are just nonstop checking out stuff, although this is more on the GPU side. But like, it makes sense, I guess, because if they can turn a profit, they're going to try to turn a profit. Scalpers and botters are going to go and scalp and bot like they've been doing the past year or so. But man, I just can't wait for all these people to go give up, because it's so annoying that even employees know. But the employees can't say anything. Like, you don't want to lose your job. Like, you can't lose your job just by complaining or, like, you know, throwing hands with someone out there who you just know is a scalper. I mean, it's one of those things you just have to sit there and be like, okay, you know what I mean? So it's got really annoying, because we're still seeing them. We're still seeing them brag about this stuff. We're still seeing them talk about it. And this is like the nice things where I want to see more consoles in stores. It's been like 17 months. Like, we're almost on the tail end of this big restock drought, and I want to be done with it. I want to be over it. I want to be able to go move on and talk about other things, especially on my channel, as we've kind of been doing. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the side videos on it. But it's things, because these restocks are just so, like, especially for in stores, we want them to continue going good. We don't want the same one person buying out the entire store stock, because you would think after all these videos and all these articles and even Sony and all them themselves, you would assume at this point they'd be like, all right, let's just give like an ID system, email system. Let's just let it, like, just everything kind of run wild for 6 months and get all the normal people consoles as fast as they can. So I don't know, I'm kind of just giving you guys my thoughts on all this stuff, because it's kind of annoying. The fact that even Best Buy employees are now complaining about scalpers and seeing scalpers and having to deal with scalpers, it just stinks, and I feel bad for them. And this is only on the Xbox too, and as I showed you guys, the Xbox is the less sought after console. So imagine how bad it's going to be if Best Buy can allow the same exact format and same exact employees having to do the same exact thing when it comes to PlayStation consoles, because that definitely still has a way bigger margin when it comes to third-party sellers, has a lot more sales volume too as well, because everyone just wants it as of this second. So it's just obnoxious, it's annoying, and I wish Best Buy would have a better policy with it. Maybe it's just that one Best Buy store, but as well, I just don't like seeing all these scalpers still showing up nonstop, trying their best to get as many consoles as they possibly can. It's just annoying, and after all this time, move on to something else so normal people can get their consoles. It's just ridiculous. So kind of give me your thoughts and comments down below. As well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. As well, for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console Controller. Same with that Twitter giveaway down below. Make sure you guys enter in with that for sure, with a Twitch stream as well, a Weeble and the Coinbase. And I'll see you guys all later on tomorrow for a bunch more videos, and all throughout the rest of the day. I'll probably more restock stuff tomorrow, and I have actually a very special video going up in a few hours today. So I love you guys.